You answer every text within minutes. You rearrange your schedule when someone asks. You say, "of course," when you mean, "I can't." You show up even when you're exhausted. You listen even when no one listens back. And you tell yourself, this is kindness. This is love. This is what good people do. But let me ask you something. When was the last time someone rearranged their life for you? When did someone last drop everything because you needed them? When did your emergency become someone else's priority? I'll wait, because here's the uncomfortable truth. Your availability isn't making you loved, it's making you convenient. And there's a profound difference between the two. People don't value what they don't have to earn. The friend who always gets your yes stops asking if you're free. They just assume. The partner who knows you'll always understand stops trying to understand you back. The family member who leans on you constantly never wonders if you need support. Because you've trained them. You've taught them that your time, your energy, your presence, these things have no cost. And now you're exhausted. Resentful. Wondering why you feel so alone in a life full of people. This isn't about them. This is about you. About the choice you make every single day to be available for everyone except yourself. Let's talk about why you do this. And more importantly, how it's quietly destroying you. Most people who are too available didn't start that way by choice. It began somewhere in childhood. Maybe you grew up in a home where love was conditional. You learned early that affection came with terms. Be helpful. Don't make waves. Anticipate needs before they're spoken. Become useful. And maybe you'll be kept. Psychologists call this conditional positive regard. The idea that you're only valued when you perform, when you please, when you sacrifice. So you became the helpful one, the reliable one, the one who always says yes. And it worked. People smiled. They praised you. They needed you. And for a child starving for security, being needed feels dangerously close to being loved. But here's what nobody told you. That pattern doesn't stop when you grow up. It calcifies. It becomes your identity. You're no longer choosing to help. You're compelled to. Because deep down, you still believe the same lie. That your worth is measured by your usefulness. So you overfunction. You overgive. You become everyone's emotional support, their therapist, their backup plan. And the whole time, you're waiting. Waiting for someone to notice. Waiting for reciprocity. Waiting for someone to care about you the way you care about them. But it doesn't come. Because you've never asked for it. You've never required it. You've never set a single boundary that would make someone earn your presence. Carl Jung spoke about the persona. The mask we wear to be accepted by the world. And your mask is made of yeses, of smiles, of "I'm fine" when you're falling apart. You've worn it so long you forgot it's not your face. But beneath that mask, there's rage. Quiet, suffocating rage. At the people who take and take. At yourself for allowing it. At the world for not magically rewarding your endless sacrifice. And that rage turns inward. You start to believe something is wrong with you. That you're too much or not enough. That if you were better, more lovable, more interesting, maybe people would show up for you the way you show up for them. But that's not the issue. The issue is that you're auditioning for a role no one asked you to play. You're performing love, hoping someone will applaud. But they won't. Because they don't see a person. They see a function. Here's what happens when you're always available. You stop being seen as someone with needs, boundaries, or limits. You become a resource, an emotional vending machine. Insert problem, receive comfort. Insert crisis, receive solution. No one asks if the machine is running low. Machines don't have feelings. And the cruelest part? The more available you are, the less people respect you. Not because they're bad, but because human psychology is wired to value scarcity. We chase what retreats. We treasure what's rare. And you're always there, always waiting, always willing, so they stop wondering about you. Stop asking how you are. Stop considering your time valuable, because you've never treated it as valuable yourself. This is the hidden cost of availability. You think you're building connection, but you're actually preventing it. Real intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires space. The space to say no, the space to disappoint, the space to be imperfect and still be loved, but you never create that space. You're too busy managing everyone else's emotions to have any of your own. And here's the paradox. The people who love you the least demand your availability the most. They sense your lack of boundaries. They know you'll always bend, so they come to you first. Not because you're special, because you're easy. Meanwhile, the people who would actually value you, who would respect your no, who would show up in return, they never get close enough. Because you're too busy being available to people who don't deserve you. So what do? How do you stop this cycle? You start by grieving. Grieving the fantasy that your sacrifice will be rewarded. That someone will finally see how much you give and give back equally. That your availability will transform into love. It won't. It never does. Because the people who take advantage of your availability aren't capable of the reciprocity you crave. If they were, they wouldn't have taken advantage in the first place. Then you do the hardest thing. You stop. You stop responding immediately. You stop rearranging your life. You stop saying yes when every cell in your body is screaming no, and it will feel wrong. Selfish, cold, because you've spent your entire life believing that your value lies in your service. That withdrawing your availability is withdrawing your love. But it's not. It's the opposite. It's finally loving yourself enough to require respect, to demand reciprocity, to insist that your time, your energy, your presence, these things matter. Some people will get angry. They'll call you different, distant, selfish. Let them. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Their anger is simply the sound of a boundary being set for the first time. Others will disappear. And that will hurt. But it will also teach you something vital. They were never there for you. They were there for what you provided. And when you stopped providing it, they had no reason to stay. Good. Let them go. You're not losing relationships. You're losing arrangements. And there's a difference. What remains after you set boundaries? Space. Glorious, terrifying space. Space to hear your own thoughts. Space to feel your own needs. Space to discover who you are when you're not performing for an audience. And in that space, something unexpected happens. The right people start to appear. Not because you're available, but because you're real. Because you've stopped auditioning and started existing. These people don't need you to be endlessly giving. They see you. They value your no as much as your yes. They show up without being begged. And for the first time, you experience what you've been chasing your whole life. Reciprocity. Not the transactional kind, but the organic kind. The kind that emerges when two whole people choose each other. Not because one is useful, but because both are seen. So if you're someone who is always available, always giving, always there for everyone but yourself, hear this. You are not kind. You are afraid. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of abandonment. Afraid that if you stop performing, you'll be left alone. But you're already alone. Surrounded by people, but alone. Because no one knows the real you. The one who's tired. The one who resents. The one who needs. And the only way to stop being alone is to stop being available. To stop hiding behind usefulness. To stop earning love and start requiring it. You don't owe anyone your constant presence. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your absence. What you owe is this: honoring your own limits, protecting your own peace, choosing yourself, even when it disappoints others. Because here's the final truth. The people who love you will respect your boundaries. The people who don't never loved you. They loved what you did for them, and you deserve more than being loved for what you provide. You deserve to be loved for who you are, even when you have nothing left to give. So stop. Withdraw, rest, and watch who stays. Those are your people. Everyone else was just passing through.